We know U.S. troops have moved out of northern Syria. Turkish troops have moved in. What about the Kurdish YPG militants? Where are they right now? How are they holding up?
As far as we know, they are in the areas in the vicinity of Turkish-Syrian border to the south. On the Syrian territory, we heard the official announcement from the Turkish government that the operation has officially began about 1.5 hours ago, Turkey time, at 4 p.m. We can see that Turkish jets and howitzers are hitting some of the positions held by Kurdish militants near the Syrian town of Tel Abyad. Going forward, the Kurdish militants, Kurdish forces leading the SDF, Syrian Democratic Forces, have said that they're going to fight back against the Turkish military when the advance begins in earnest.
The United States has spent $8 trillion fighting and policing this particular part of the world. Thousands of US soldiers have died or have been badly wounded. Millions of people have died. In terms of what this is going to mean, in terms of where the US is going to be positioned, what do we know about policy going forward from here?
US President Donald Trump has made clear that one of the driving motivations for him was to basically deliver his earlier promises and to get United States troops out of wars that he considers to be endless and basically pointless from an American point of view. So it's clear that maybe a year delay, Trump is trying to fulfill his promise to pull his troops out of Syria, at least parts of Syria. This is part of the same larger phenomena. Trump basically seems to have had enough with American engagement in parts of Syria, and when he spoke to Erdogan, who seems to have a good working relationship with the US president, they seem to have come to a conclusion whereby they said, okay, Turkish troops or Turkish military will now take the role that American military used to have in terms of the fight against ISIS and a partnership with Syrian Kurdish militant groups, including the YPG, seems to have come to an end.
All right, so, we know Trump makes the final decision, but we also know from our own reporting here at Bloomberg that not everyone in the Trump administration was on the same page with regards to this decision. There are thousands of jihadist fighters who are, in prisons there that now, would become the responsibility of Turkey. Do we have any sense that those thousands of fighters, or those prisoners essentially, are going to be kept in those prisons, or are we at risk of them being released back out into Syria or wherever?
This is a crucial question, and there is really no clear answer to this now, for a variety of reasons. Now, Kurdish groups, including led by the YPG in Syria, they have been saying for a long time now that if Turkey moves into northeastern Syria, they may not be able to contain what they say is 12,000 ISIS fighters and tens of thousands of their family members in makeshift prisons or camps in the area. Having said that, shortly before the operation began, Turkish President Erdogan downplayed the threat from ISIS members and said Turkey actually has a plan that it's working on to deal with them. Not only Turkey, but European powers who also have vested interests in a resolution to this problem are working on their own separate plans in terms of how to tackle ISIS members. It's a tricky question. There are a lot of issues to be involved. There are too many jihadists to deal with. It's not clear where they could be tried or held in prisons in the long term, but it's something that everybody who is now in Syria seems to be thinking about and trying to resolve.